Hi, good morning, namaskar, and happy World Cup, everyone. In a year which has been completely about ODI cricket and India hosting the World Cup, I'm Dev Tyagi, very excited to talk to you on the Selfie Times YouTube channel, thanks to Anwar Hooda. A few insights and impressions about the ODI World Cup and how it might proceed ahead. I'll just keep it crisp and I'll try to give you as many facts as possible and some insights as well. Beginning with India, we are the hosts, and I think there couldn't have been a better year for Indian cricket. At a time where we have Virat Kohli, who's just crossed 13,000 one-day international runs, and Shubman Gill completely owning the ODI format in a way previously unseen by so many cricketers, the chances really are bright for India. Not just because we are hosts, but we've been in dominant form. We rattled the Aussies completely, most recently. We won that series by a margin of 2-1. But to give an overall perspective, it's a great opportunity for India to lift the title, which they last won in 2011, which was 28 years after winning the 1983, the epic World Cup, the thing which actually fired the imaginations of tens of thousands of millions of people supporting Indian cricket. And the signs are far too ominous for India's opponents. And as an Indian, we would definitely hope that the hosts clinch this trophy. Jasprit Bumrah is back. Kuldeep Chawla has been in the form of his life. He's been one of the most underrepresented or perhaps even unsung figures. A Chinaman from Kanpur, an Indian at heart, an Indian by his passport holder background, and of course an underappreciated name in this game. And we have Siraj and Shami who are bowling as if they're in the form of their life, and Siraj recently completely rattling his opponents in the Asia Cup was a sign of amazing things to come. I'm going to quickly take you through some numbers that Rohit Sharma has had, the Indian captain, this year. So he's played 16 games from which he's made 658 runs. His batting average is of 50, which is amazing news. And heading into the ODI World Cup, the Indian captain, of course, Mumbai-born, loved across the country, has had 6 half-centuries to his name in 2023. Virat Kohli has recently stroked a brilliant 122, which was against Pakistan in the Asia Cup. This happens to be his 3rd ODI century of the year. He's made 612 runs from 16 games. His batting average is north of 50, which is amazing news again heading into the World Cup. Suryakumar Yadav, a person who's been often polarized because, some people feel he should be in the team, some people feel he shouldn't be. We are no one to judge. We can only tell you what the numbers say. He's only played 30 matches so far in his career, but in the last 3-match series against Australia, he was in the form of his life. So Suryakumar Yadav made 130 runs from just 3 games, and that featured a belter of a knock, a belter of a half-century at Indore. I think a hammering which the Australians will take a lifetime to forget. Shubman Gill's numbers, I would like to reiterate the point once again that this young man, the man who celebrates reaching a milestone as if, you would remember a prince, wielding his sword and bowing down. He's had 1,230 runs from 20 matches this year. This includes 500s and as many half-centuries. So it's a purple patch which can get purpler, I beg your pardon, should Gill's bat continue to bounce the opponents, and India would definitely love some of that. Ishan Kishan, by the way, we should not forget Ishan Kishan's contributions. His batting average this year has been a very healthy one at 37. He's made 409 runs already this year from 15 matches, so he's had his chances. 37 might not seem like too big an average, but he has been consistent. He's still young, he's still rising in his career. And his performances in the Caribbean were quite confident, and they gave India the right spring in the step which we needed. That's about India. What are the other big teams who definitely can make it to the final 4? Of course, it's a no-brainer. Everybody has their own picks. But at Selfie Times, I, Dev Tyagi, believe definitely that Australia, England and Pakistan could be the other 3 teams. They have some amazing players. Let's just talk about Australia. They have Pat Cummins, they have Cameron Green, the rising all-rounder. Glenn Maxwell is back from the injury. Mitchell Starc is perhaps going to play his final World Cup, as is Dave Warner and maybe even Steve Smith. So this trio of Pat Cummins, the captain, Stephen Smith and David Warner hold absolute critical part of the Australian cricket team. it becomes a very fiery quartet when you put Glenn Maxwell's match-winning experience to that ranks. Some people might have been a bit surprised why probably Tim David was not picked up. Maybe he's not yet a complete ODI player, so to speak, but his big hitting prowess, that can just basically shatter bowlers. We've seen a lot of that in the IPL, right? But they have Josh Inglis, who's been having a bit of an up and down time. He's very inexperienced when it comes to representing Australia in the international duties. But there is a lot that he can actually bring to the table. So Australia, the team which has the most number of World Cup titles to their names, in 1987, 1999, 2003, 2007, the World Cup which was held in the Caribbean, one that we Indian fans would love to not remember much about because we know what our team did there. Unfortunately, the game is. And 2015. So Australia may want to actually fire an opening salvo in every single game that they play and basically make it all count. That's about Australia. Coming to Pakistan, what a brilliant bowling attack. Naseem Shah, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf. They have spinners like Shadab Khan. Babar Azam recently said that I'll answer some of your questions at the stadium when I think he was asked by a journalist as to what's going to happen in the World Cup. And of course, it was an egregious performance. So, underrated the word might be in the Pakistani context. And coming to the Asia Cup, they would definitely want to rise back. They would want to basically hit back at their detractors. And Pakistan are a capricious side. You just don't know what Pakistan team is going to take the field today. Are they going to be hard hitting? Are they going to be consistent? Or are they just going to be crushed? So we don't know. But Babar Azam, I don't need to educate anyone. I don't need to remind anyone about the classiness that the batsman has. The debates with Virat Kohli, given who plays the better cover drive, is basically a huge uplifter of sorts for all the Pakistani fans because they have in their ranks a batsman who fires everyone's imagination. So Babar Azam is perhaps hopefully going to dominate the scoring charts for the team. But there's Fakhar Zaman in there as well. And the wicket-keeping batsman, he's brilliant as well. And we don't need to tell you what Pakistan have done in the T20 World Cup form recently, but this is ODIs. This is where they would want to really come back strong and really repay the faith of those who are backing them to make it into the Final Four. So that's Pakistan, and you just don't know what Afridi can do. Speed, movement, agility on the field, and let's just hope that their fast bowlers do not get injured. And we definitely want to have a competition which can give a run for the money to Pakistan's opponents. Only then will we get to see that real daring, passionate Pakistanis perform to the best of their ability. Right, England. There was a bit of a stir recently when Jason Roy was not really picked and Harry Brook, the rising, smashing England batsman, was picked in his place. There's Joss Butler, there's Johnny Bairstow, there's of course the classy and the always elegant Joe Root, and not to mention a phrase we Indians are much too familiar with, Ben Stokes, whether it is being repeated quite a while on the IPL pitch. Or as recently heard from the man himself, Virat Kohli, when asked about who his favourite English cricketer is, or maybe who his favourite current cricketer is. And Ben Stokes, who's actually come back to the one-day arena, and he's determined and decided to, fire up England's chances in this World Cup. So we just don't know what may happen to England's opponents. Can England really crush them? Can they, the defending champions, get another World Cup trophy under the belt? Her Majesty's cricketers are going to be exciting. They're going to be, they are not going to leave anything to chance in this World Cup. And as much as challenging and the World Cup will once again present an opportunity for England to prove the fact that the 29 ODI victory back in their home comfort was no flash in the pan moment. However, having said that, beating India, or for that matter any other finalist, should England reach the finals, of course, in the subcontinental conditions, is never going to come easy. But they have this quintuplet of Ben Stokes, Joe Root, Joss Butler, Harry Brook, and some amazing bowlers. Let's not forget Adil Rashid, who completes this quintuplet as one of the best spinners of his generation. Leg spin is not a dying art, and thank God we have bowlers like Adil Rashid who are here to throw some spotlight on an art which we associate with Shane Warne, of course, the inimitable legend. So England are, of course, a very, very competitive team. Having said all of this, cricket is a game which is hardwired in unpredictability. It's a game which is forever embedded in the now, by which I mean you just don't know what's going to happen on that particular day. South Africa may also come up with a surprise. Of course, Anrich Nokia's injury right on the heels of the World Cup was kind of a shocker. But again, they do have a very balanced bowling attack. There is Rabada, there is Ngidi. Tabraiz Shamsi happens to be in a class of his field. He's one of the finest spinners to have ever graced the game for South Africa. There's Keshav Maharaj. Marco Jansen is an amazing fast bowling all-rounder who almost recently took Australia apart with the bat in the 3-match ODI series which took place back in South Africa. There's Heinrich Klaasen, who's the class of the field in the South African batting attack. David Miller has been experiencing those spiky strike rates which always resemble like some New York skyscraper. So South Africans never take them light. Quinton de Kock, this is going to be possibly one of the World Cups for him to remember, having really returned lukewarm numbers the last time around in England in the 2019 campaign. Of course, as a fan of Faf du Plessis, I'm still surprised why they didn't pick Faf when fitness, form, class and the desire to burn bright for South Africa are still on his side. But yeah, that's pretty much from us on the Selfie Times channel, and stay tuned, and Jai Hind India, lift the trophy.